Hello and welcome back to another video. A lot of people have been wondering, thinking, oh, these videos, they're gone, they ain't gonna get posted, all this, all that. Well, it's time, you know, to start posting. Um, Today's video is gonna be a bit of a two-on-one. It's gonna be a sort of explanation of what's going on, why I ain't been posting, whatever, because, I've got reasoning behind these things. It's not like, oh, family things came up, you get me? I mean, obviously things came up, but there's processes to it. Like, this is just how things, like a good way things work, but I'll explain that and sort of how you could take that into your own thing. And then I'm gonna give another extra tip, sort of like a money business, sort of like, what I'm saying, entrepreneurial tip for all you people who like the entrepreneurial stuff. Well, first things first, the videos, well, there was a gap, and I just needed to know what I was saying wasn't just some rubbish that I was spewing up again. I mean, a lot of it was research that I'd done myself, but the ideas and the concepts were stuff that I was just learning. I was like, whoa, my mind's getting blown, like, you know what I'm saying? But then, now I look back and realise, well, before I looked back and I realised, like, even then, that, I was just, I didn't really know what I was talking about, you know what I'm saying? And so what was necessary is I needed to collect more information and deepen my intellect, and now I'm like, like actually smart. Once you realise your potential and you actually start learning and trying to actually increase your intelligence, and you start noticing, oh, my intelligence is increasing, then it sends out code and it makes your intelligence increase. Listen, I don't make the books, I don't make the rules, that's how it works. If you know, you know. If you don't, maybe you'll know in another video. It's too deep for this. If you want to join Discord, I guess I'm still going to have that open, why not? Join it and ask me some questions in there. I'm not really active in there, but every now and then, I guess now I'm making videos, I'll go check on there. Anyway, any questions in there, you can leave questions in there. They could come up in a video, or you could DM me, add me, and send me questions in DMs, and I can put them not in a video, or put them in a video if you want, you know what I'm saying? Or if it's a really good question, like, obviously I won't say exactly who it came from or anything, I'll just like give examples and help other people that might have a similar question. So that way it's I help you, you help me, you know what I'm saying? You give me a question to answer for other people as well, and I'll answer your question for you to help you. Now, this is what I wanted to have more intelligence and more ability, because before, I was in school and everything. Now I'm out of school, I'm doing my businesses, whatever, and I'm, I've got home gym now. Different things have changed. I mean, obviously, no, I'm not saying everything's perfect, but it doesn't have to be, right? And I guess that's one of the issues that could have been in my old videos, would be that I'd say, like, I can reflect and I'd say, I was trying to be perfect, trying to uphold an image, and now I really don't care about uploading an image. I'm here to upload my videos, get asked questions, help people with their questions, and learn. You know what I'm saying? I'll learn at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a question that I'll think, and someone will be like, "Oh, well, this is happening. Do you think it could be this?" And it's something I've never thought about. I said, "Well, make it like," and it could be that, or it could not be that, but that's something I haven't thought about. But it leads to something else, or you know what I'm saying? Like, when you have one person, you have to like slowly build up like a ramp. When you got two people, you can build off each other like steps. That's the way I see it, or like a ladder. If if you're like if you're like cool, similar, you know what I'm saying? It can be like steps, or you can just go straight. Have that guy that's like a ladder to you, But I'm not saying you need someone, because the solo journey is definitely doable, and it is essential. You can't, if you've never ever gone solo for like 6 months at least, 3 months, I'd say minimum, 4 minimum, and you haven't just yourself in charge of everything in your life. You taking responsibility for everything in your life. Not talking to your friends, not relying on having any friends to keep you company, or any friends to help you with this or help you with that. Once you have that, then that's when you can start building the steps and building the ladders, because once you start building the steps or building the ladder, yeah, if you haven't, you know, gone through it yourself, like gone through the dirt, you know, pushed yourself through like army boot camp, right? Pushed yourself through the dirt on your own. You got up yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because when that person, like, you're not always gonna be with them 24/7, right? And when that person does not, like, you know, stop, you know, you're like waiting, or like, oh, let's continue building our staircase, instead of, like, you know what I'm saying, just continually building your own slope, your own staircase, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and then continuing the staircase from there, because you build your own slope for yourself, like, don't even need you. I mean, you know what I'm saying, you just can't be stuck waiting for another person. That's how I see a lot of people are. I've had a lot of people leech onto me thinking that I'm going to bring them to success magically, like I'm going to magically, you know, they're going to say, oh yeah, let's do a business together, and then they just sit doing nothing and don't know what to do. They're just like ducks sitting in a pond and expect me to bring them to some sort of money. But listen, that's not, you need to do some work yourself. You can't give other people all your work, because then they're going to mess it up. So you've got to take responsibility. You've got to be able to take responsibility for everything, like absolutely everything. And once you're on your own for an extended period of time, you'll realise how much of these things that people piss you off, like other people will piss you off because of these things, and you realise, hold on, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of these people were here, and I'm still getting pissed off because of this, and or because of that, and you know, it's because of this really. And when I was saying it's because of that, because when you blame other people and you blame other things, it's outside of your control, and a lot of times it hides the actual cause and the actual reason. So it's like medicine, innit? Hiding the actual reason and just trying to treat it with a cure. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't work. But that was the first part of the video, and the second part, I mean, that the first part sort of extended into a sort of second tip, but that wasn't the second tip. Second tip is about what sort of form of sales used to make money, not buying it and selling it, or you know, something stock like that. When, because all these companies that are making money, you don't realize they're doing different things. Like on the base level, they have the surface level, and then they have a whole three other, just triple the level of business that's on the surface level, just under, and then triple again under that. These corporations like Tesco, Sainsbury's, the reason they make money, actually making money off of it, is because the people that bought them and owned them are billionaires who bought and owned other companies that bought plantations in fucking on the other side of the world, who have airlines and companies and all of this. But if you're watching this video, chances are a lot of you might not have that. But if you do, great, take advantage of it. You know, use it and scale from it, right? But by the time it arrives, probably where you are at the consumer, you know, but TikTok Shop, there's one thing I realised, you could go there for some stuff, but the buying and reselling it for a higher price, and you know, it's not really the method, because it's limited by, especially if it's by you, it's limited by time, and it's not entirely, and it's scalable, but it's not scalable to a humongous degree, or at smaller levels, without having these massive corporations and companies behind you. So something I would say would be like an arbitrage, for example, where instead of selling a product, you sell a solution, or like, for example, sell a solution, sell like a problem, or it solve problems, right? Or build brands, or like, this is all solving problems, right? There's selling stuff and solving problems. Selling stuff does solve problems, but you can solve problems without having to have a physical item there, right? Like, say if you build a brand, the problem is people who want to use that brand, say Airbnb for example. uh, Airbnb doesn't make money from owning houses and stuff. They earn money from being the brand of, yeah, I can go on Airbnb and rent a house probably around here, but they don't own any of the houses. But the people that go on the platform, their problem is they need people to sell their houses for. Airbnb built that brand for that, right? So it's like advertising, right? Advertising is a lot of money. So to be there, I'm sure they got to pay a little fee. I ain't looked into Airbnb personally. Um, Obviously, I don't have the funds for it currently. Soon come, future come, we'll see. But it's just thinking, thinking long term, and just keep learning about these little stuff. Like, don't ever stop thinking that you know it all, because if you ain't if you ain't already got it all that you think you know about, then you don't actually know it all. And that's what I realised. Thought that I knew it all, but then there's a bunch of things like the system is made for them, but you just need to realize how it's made for them and use it. And that's some of the things that you're not really told. That, like, you're told about grinding and this and that, and no one tells you about, oh, this structure and this, and you have to set it up in this way or do this thing, and and it all adds up. At the end of the day, it all adds up. But that's that's just that's just my tip. That person, especially like in person, like going out selling lemonade or whatever, that that buying and selling, it doesn't work, because the money goes to the next man. That's how it works. Yeah, you have profits, but the money's going to be going to the next man. Or if you're doing it yourself, your time is, right? Yeah, you'll be getting, sometimes you can get a lot of profit margins on some stuff, right? Getting it cheap from some factory in China. And but if it's you going out and giving it to all these people, your mates or whatever, or if you're going out and having to ship it out all the time, then you're spending your time. Your time is also money, because money is not a thing, it's just value. That's all it is. Money is just a perception of value, and your time is value. Information is value. All of this stuff is value. So people are thinking about grinding, they're only thinking about cash, which is a control mechanism, and you keep chasing that, and you're not going to chase it. You know what I'm saying? It's like chasing them little scrawny dogs. They're just going to keep running away until you learn to not chase the dog, but I don't know, chase the treat. Get the treat or something. Change up your plan. Change up your tactic. Not just chasing it straight away. You chase the information. You raise your value by increasing your information, your skills, and then in turn, that will just create value. Or if you're smart, you can use that to create value, right? You can exchange it or multiply it, which is really what you want, because you don't want to exchange. You want to stack, not money. You want to stack income and revenue streams. That's what you want. You don't want to have to be the one guy doing all of the work and having an exchange, right? Because then that exchange has got a ratio, right? 1 to 1, 2 to 1, I don't know, whatever the ratio is, it's going to have a limit. Say if it takes 10 hours a day, no, 10 minutes a day for one order, right? And you got 6 orders, alright, that's an hour. And then all of a sudden you've got 36 orders, and then you're making what, £5 profit on each. Yeah, that's it's alright, to be fair. You're making what, 180 from them 6 hours. That's not too bad. But then once it gets to a day, it fills up your entire day, and you realise, hold on, this is not as good. But say when you've got one person or one asset or skill or something like that, when I'm saying exchange, I mean even exchange, like getting another person to do it for you is still an exchange. But I'm talking about exchanging it. It's still going to be an exchange. Just because you got someone else doing it doesn't mean you're not exchanging for it still, because you're still paying them for the time and making less money. And unless you're exploiting them like some Chinese child, right? You're probably gonna have to pay them a decent amount for their work, and then you're seeing, oh, I'm getting less money. Why don't I just do it myself? But then you do it yourself. You ain't got time to put it into other things. Do you understand? And it's this sort of thing. And sometimes what I've seen with some people, they get other people to do their work, and then, you know what I'm saying, they just sit back and do nothing and think that they're just magically gonna have money to buy a yacht, or to, you know what I'm saying, do this, and talking about, you know what I'm saying, spending all this money, and then they spend it on something that they don't need, that's not going to reinvest, it's not going to multiply their money, they're just going to lose it and lose all that money that they'd got, you know what I'm saying. But you want something that is not going to do that, because money can lose its value. 100% money can lose its value. You can spend £500 or something and you can squish it, right? It's that simple. You could spend £500, you could have £500 in your pocket and lose it, right? But that's what I'm trying to get at here. You want to sort of protect yourself against things like that could come by not having not chasing one form of value, not chasing just the money, just the numbers on the paper. You know what I'm saying? There's more to value, and once you realise that and open your eyes and say, oh well, instead of just chasing money, well, I'm thinking, how do I optimize it? You know what I'm saying? How do I, instead of just make the most money, how can I make a certain amount of money and pay the less tax on it, or no tax on it, so that you can reinvest it, or say, well, so you can set up a trust fund or set up a holding company, you know, stuff like this, and then register with that instead of as you, so you don't pay income tax on it, you know, stuff like that. The system is made with these little loopholes on purpose, because the system is made for the people who create it, not for the people who serve under it. But it's still the same system for everyone. We just don't know all of these loopholes. You understand? But your job is just to find these loopholes, and then you can take advantage of them, because it is a fair system. At the end of the day, it is a fair system. If you had what they had and did what they did, you know what I'm saying, you'd be where they are. It's fair. So just do what they are, see what they're doing. How come all these billionaires have trust funds and don't actually own their companies and don't really get salaries? They get dividends and shares and stuff. You're like, hold on, and you look into that, and that will take you. You follow the trail. You follow the actions, not the words. That's my advice for this short video. I mean, it's 18 minutes, but that's all for today. It's sort of just a reintroduction. Probably not even going to edit it at all. But yeah, that's it for the video. That's, you know, explaining why, you know, it's taking so long. I'll probably record another one after this even. But yeah, that's why, if you didn't know. But thank you for watching the video, and I hope it helps. And you know, soon come. Next video will be coming out soon. It's going to be about how to guarantee success for yourself, you know, like, just so everything's there. Procrastination, gone. Being lazy, gone. Not knowing what to do, gone. You know, everything's going to be structured and ready. It's going to be a path for you, like a video game quest. But that's for the next video. Alright, have a nice day.